All right. It is day 22 of quarantine, and we are back with another story from university of something dumb and quirky that I used to do that ultimately worked out for everyone, especially me. Kind of not really, but also worked out because I'm me. I'm the main character of my show. Before we start, I just want to say, I know I'm wearing a blue shirt again, but in my defense, I own like 10 of the same blue shirt.
I just want to start things off by saying no, this is technically the same blue shirt, but not the exact. I'm wearing blue again. Yeah, I'm wearing the same. Do I change? Do I keep it? Oh man, he's wearing the same blue shirt. Oh man, he filmed this on the same day who wore the blue shirt the first time. Or memes make the dreams indoors 24/7. So there I was, stressed because I've already worn. I can't get the line right. Why can't you?
So here I am, redoing my lines over and over and over and over again. And a legitimate quarantine thought popped in my head. How do I deal with stress? Some people, for example, work out. Some people read. Some people meditate, and I do none of that. But back in university, I did in fact have a coping mechanism to my stress. I used to stress bake a lot. So let me just preface things by saying that I think I stress responsibly. I only stress when there is something to stress about or when it's necessary to be stressing over something. But because of my horrible human being habits, I tend to add to my own stress. One of the things that really stressed me out back in university was assignment season. Now me personally, I think exams were easier. I think. The way I processed exams, simple as 3 easy steps. So first, you find out what topics are on the exam. Second, you binge that like it's a Netflix show the week before the exam. Third, whatever you know on the day of the exam, that's what you know. Simple as that. The Niko principle. But assignments needed a lot more finesse. Like, way more finesse. Which is usually called academic bullcrap. For those of you who don't know, academic bullcrap is that fine balance between academic fact and grammatical fiction, wed together in 10 to 100 pages of sleep-deprived anxiety and fragile mindedness. University in a nutshell. That being said, I did okay for the most part. My prowess for academic bullcrap was pretty good. It got me average marks after the late penalties. Sorry mom, love you. But behind the scenes, things were a lot less smooth. Now if I remember correctly, this is the recommended work process for any assignment in university. You do 1 week of thesis work, 2 to 3 weeks of research, 4 weeks of writing, and 1 week of proofreading before you submit. You know, at least a couple days before the deadline. But my work process was a little bit different. 3 weeks of thesis work, 1 to 2 weeks of research, 1 week of writing, 15 to 30 minutes of proofreading, and then submit at least a day late. The Niko principle. Subsection B. Trademark. So like I mentioned earlier, I stress bake. And assignments were super stressful, especially when I was doing it my way. I was getting results, but stressful nonetheless. So let me just add something to the mix. I think I was a bit of an insomniac in university, or at least a severe night owl, because I would, completely sleep through the day, stay up all night. And that's when I would do my work. When it's quiet, no one's there to disturb me. I was listening to some sick lo-fi, but I was also distracted. And when there's nothing to do at 3 in the morning, other than do your assignment, you go on the internet, you find a recipe, and then you check your fridge, you start baking, and next thing you know, you're like elbow deep in like pizza dough. But on top of all that stress baking, I had a magnum opus, the pinnacle of my stress and my baking coming together to become stress baking. I call it my creme brulee phase. And here's why. One assignment, I can't remember which one because there were like so many of them, but one assignment I was especially stressed. I realized I had all the ingredients for creme brulee. But you don't just make one creme brulee at a time. No. That's silly. You make like 4 or 6 per batch. So as I was doing my assignment, I just decided I got time in between. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. Let me break that down for you. A minimum of 1 batch of creme brulee, 5 times a week. That's about 24 creme brulees. That came out to about 36 egg yolks, 10 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 3 cups of sugar, and 12 cups of heavy cream. Plus, like, a fridge full of egg whites. That was like a third of my weekly grocery budget. Sorry, Mom. Love you. So what did I do with 24 creme brulees? Well, I did what Jesus would have done, and I fed the hungry. And by the hungry, I mean my roommates. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we had creme brulees until it got to the point where it was no longer funny. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 times a day, 5 times a week. But a man's gotta draw a line somewhere, and you can't keep eating creme brulees, cause you just can't. Vegetables are important. So I couldn't just throw out all this creme brulee that I was making out of stress from being in the middle of assignment season. So I just did what any other quirky university student would have done, and I started giving them away on campus. I was known as the creme brulee guy, and it was amazing. At first it was weird. People were just like, oh, this guy's just giving like desserts in the hallways. And then eventually by the end of like the 2nd or 3rd week, they're like, oh yeah, creme brulees. It was a great conversation starter. You know, you just go up to people and be like, hey, you want creme brulee? But I messed up real good. I like Power Rangers. And there was a comic store down the street from my campus that just so happened to have some vintage toys and collectibles and comics and all the fun nerd stuff. And you know what I saw on that shelf? It was the 2004 Wild Force Megazord for $60. Do you know what that means? It was the steal of a century. So there I was sitting in the middle of class during assignment season, moping and realizing, you know, I wish I didn't buy all that takeout, so I have $60 right now. When a thought popped in my head, my friend at the beginning of my whole stress baking shenanigans suggested I sell all my excess creme brulee for $5 a dessert. I did some quick calculations of math because I'm definitely not a math major. Thoughts and numbers were flying through my brain. 5 times 24. I realized I didn't know how to do 5 times 24 mentally that quick. So I popped in my calculator, 5 times 24. That was about $120 a week. I was missing out on $120 a week from desserts I was making because I was stressed. Do you know what you call an opportunity to make money out of one's stress and have a demand for it? That is called the dream. Every university student's stress-induced fantasies of being able to make money from their stress, and I squandered it. So, this revelation did not sit well. It was like being a man who just won the jackpot and went from rags to riches and back to rags. In this case, it was more like a struggling student going from crappy rags to slightly less crappy rags and back to slightly more crappy rags. I was in my crappiest rags that day. Here I was, going around campus, giving away my free creme brulees, and I realized I could have charged people $5, and I could have earned $120 a week. And it's been 8 weeks, and I could have been like a millionaire, I think. I can't do fast math, okay? It just hurts my brain. And this hurt my brain even more because I missed out on the greatest business opportunity of my university career. I could have been Steve Jobs. Jobs? I think you pronounce it Jobs. Either way, my baking job was done. So yeah, I was bummed out for the rest of the day. And you know what I thought would cheer me up? The Power Rangers Wild Force Megazord. So I went to the comic book store after my classes, thinking I could go see that toy one more time and pretend I have $60 so I can finally have it in my collection after, you know, not having it for like 20 years of my life. And I go to the comic book store, you know, walking around like I'm so happy and like not really happy because I'm pretending to be happy because there's something good in life that's still good to be happy about. And you know what I see? Someone bought the Megazord. How dare someone have the exact same childhood fantasy of buying a Megazord like me? I was a broke man. But then I realized, you know, assignments are all due like the week after, and then I no longer have to bake. So I guess I'm no longer stressed. I'm just really sad now. I guess at the end of the day, the moral of the story is that you should find a healthy way to cope with your stress and try not to make, I guess, a multi-million-dollar scheme out of it. I don't know. If you can make money off of your stress, make money off of your stress. The Niko principle. Subsection 4. Well, those are my thoughts for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's story. If you liked it, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up if you can. Actually, you can only give 1 thumbs up. So 1 thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and catch you in the next video. That's all from me. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stand 2 meters away from each other because that's about 6 feet, I think.